it's Wednesday night, 6:05 first pitch. It's the Inland Sports Show. Welcome, everybody. Come on in. We appreciate you checking out the show. We are live and amplified from Teen Vision TV 16. We do it every single Wednesday night. We do appreciate you watching. If you're watching on YouTube, give us a follow. If you're watching on Twitter, give us a like. Same thing on Facebook. We do appreciate it. My name is Pep Fernandez. Big show coming your way. We will talk some high school football with Travis Carter. He is the head football coach at Hillcrest High School, and Hillcrest, like a lot of different schools, ramping up to start high school football practice if they haven't already, like some of the other schools have in the last week or so. They will start next week. And then a little bit later in the show, RCC head baseball coach Rudy Arguelles. We're going to talk to the legend Rudy in just a couple of minutes. But first, kind of continuing our conversation, I guess you could say, from last Wednesday night on the Inland Sports Show, hashtag keep UCR athletics. If you have not heard, there was a proposal. It's just a suggestion or recommendation, I guess you could call it, to cut the school's budget, beginning with athletics. We don't want to see that happen. We had some great ambassadors from the school, a couple head coaches, a couple student athletes. Tonight, we get to hear from the director of athletics. Joining us live on the Inland Sports Show. She is always so gracious with her time to join us, and we do appreciate it. It's Tamica Smith-Jones. And Tamica, first off, again, thank you for always making time for us. I know this is a very big topic that we want to talk about here on the Inland Sports Show. But again, thanks for always, creating time to come on the show and represent UCR. And I know UCR athletics more than ever kind of needs a voice out there in the community, right?
You're absolutely right. We definitely need a voice, and we appreciate the voice and the vehicle that you're allowing us to use with the Inland Sports Show. So thank you for having our coaches and our student athletes on last week. This is a blue time. I got my blue background, the rebrand, refresh, but this is a blue time for UCR athletics. But we're trying to stay hopeful, stay positive, and mobilize our community of fans who absolutely have spoken up and spoken loud and clear over the last several weeks.
Tamica, we talked last week with Coach Magpayo, Coach Palmer, and the student athletes about the petition, and also just the swell of support that we saw on social media, not only from the UCR family, but even beyond, just college athletics in general. What's kind of your first impression of just the kind of support, the community that has rallied around the Highlanders to show that, hey, you know what? We want UCR athletics. We're going to do everything we can to make sure UCR keeps athletics, because it's really coming from a lot of different places right now, and it's pretty cool to see.
Well, you always try to find a silver lining in all of this, and that is absolutely the most that I've seen, the love and support for UCR athletics in many years. And so we've got a lot of fans. They come and support us. Of course, they're not always in the stands, which may be a metric of the value of athletics in a lot of arenas. But our alumni have been absolutely incredible, reaching out to our leadership and to our chancellor and even the Budget Advisory Committee. Our Athletic Association board has been a champion for us, always advocating and being very in tune to what's going on with our program. And our student athletes and student organizations on our campus probably have been the most profound during this time. They have rallied together. They have had a student town hall meeting to discuss this. They are very concerned, as well as you would expect our coaches and myself as the athletic director. So the rallying and the galvanizing and just the momentum that we've seen and the expressions that have been very clear about the value of UCR athletics on this campus, in this community, and quite frankly, nationwide. Our student athletes, they graduate, they become valuable alums that have memorable experiences they share in the communities that they go back to. And we've been getting notes and letters and expressions of just the support from every corner of the country, and I really appreciate it.
Tamica, if you go back several months, I just feel like UC Riverside was riding this wave. The men's basketball team was having a fantastic year. Maybe it's best ever at the Division I level. We have UCR athletes at professional levels, including Aaron Long for the U.S. men's national soccer team. We see Joe Kelly with the LA Dodgers. We see the rebranding with the new logo in the background, which everyone loved. I just felt like this wave of momentum was coming, and then we get the news that they could
surprise, right?
I mean, were you caught by surprise? I just felt like everything was going in the right direction, and then bang, they, potentially cutting athletics.
And let me tell you, I was definitely caught by surprise. I was just stunned. I know the chancellor regretted having to give me the information of the Budget Advisory Committee. When he did, I can see the just disappointment in having to deliver that information on his face. He's been an advocate and a champion of the program. Since his time, since his hiring of me, I have not seen anything but tremendous support from him. And ultimately, it's going to be his decision. So I try to rest in that, knowing that. But, I got the information about 4 or 5 days before I had to go and share that with my coaching staff. And the chancellor, I invited him in to meet with them, meet with our athletic association board. I had to have meetings with 17 sports programs and their parents and guardians, and just to deliver news that, quite frankly, my understanding is the Budget Advisory Committee had been discussing for 10 meetings, and so it was quite a surprise. We are on such a trajectory. Our program, as you said, we're producing professional athletes and professionals in business, the medical fields. We have done all that has been asked of us to align with the mission of UCR. And so, what concerns me as a director and a leader is, what you say and then how your behavior, doesn't align sometimes. And so being a program that has, just with everything that we have, and what it takes to be a student athlete and coaches and administrators in athletics. I mean, we're very competitive. We came in with a vision. We aligned with the mission that we would be high academic scholars. Our student athletes are above a 3.1 GPA now, which was something that we worked really hard with our student athletes, our coaches, our academic support team, and our campus. And our faculty has gotten involved in that by giving us the, progress on each of our 350 student athletes as we need it. I mean, it's been a collaborative success story, I would say. Competitively, we've won first of many championships that we had, a target for. Our men's soccer championship was our last, and it was such a celebration to see how the alumni and the community came out standing room only to support that championship run. But we also had, men's and women's golf championships and women's basketball championships and so much, national champion in weight throw for track, which is unheard of for a mid-major like our program. And the work that we've done on this campus, I think, has really been a testament in these last couple of weeks, because we've really tried to be ambassadors on this campus, be leaders on our campus. And our student athletes have stepped up in so many ways to make sure that they're participating and being a part of what's going on the campus on a daily basis. And their peers are coming out to support them and rallying behind them and really, giving them the love that they need right now during a very, very concerning time. So we hope that all was, not overlooked. But we know that these are some very trying times from a budget standpoint. We're just asking for a more thoughtful and reasonable plan of action to be able to help the university, as we know, is in a $50 to $70 million deficit that athletics didn't create. So it's one of those things where we just want to make sure that we go down fighting. We're not going to just, be silenced around the value that we know we add to this program, to this campus. And I believe many on the campus, have those same sentiments.
So, Tamica, when you address the chancellor or the Budget Advisory Committee, what are some things that you can do to favorably influence them to make a positive decision for UCR athletics? Are they looking for a specific metric? Do you kind of rework the athletic budget on your own and present it to them? Say, hey, you don't need to cut all off athletics. We found a way to cut a corner here, cut a corner there. We can make it work. Is it sharing the emotional, personal stories of the student athletes? I mean, what are some things that you think can help influence them to keep UCR athletics when they're trying to make that decision?
And that's a great question. And that's one of the things that I've tried to really stay focused on, Pep, during this time, is that there are things that, the external stakeholders can do to help us. And there are things that only as the athletic director I have to do as it relates to addressing the budget advisory committee and the chancellor, who is my supervisor. And, the truth of the matter is we don't have a spending issue in athletics. We have been very frugal. We have been very responsible. I inherited a deficit 5 years ago, and the chancellor was very gracious in not making me have to dig out of that hole. But the structural deficit that we have for our program, it really just kind of has to be the narrative. And that's where, as the athletic director, I will have to go in and show them clearly. The challenge of that, though, Pep, is that the budget advisory committee, it turns over every year. So you got new people for the last 4 years that I've gone before that budget advisory committee. It's like re-educating a committee on athletics, on collegiate athletics every year. And, at this point, 5 years later, it's really, frustrating to have to go in and continue to do that. And it just seems real glaring at this time where, there could be some shared support in what we do with our budget deficit across the campus. The advisory committee didn't recommend that we merge some of our sports with, our athletic program, perhaps with recreation, intramurals, clubs, like the Ivy League model. I understand the Ivy League model don't have offer scholarships, but that's something that we can offer. But there are so many shared resources that we use already, facilities and some of the human resources that we can use with relative to merging, units instead of eliminating one real small fraction of what this overarching campus budget is. And so that's really the story and the narrative that I've got to go in and share. And so I've, had several colleagues across the industry reach out, consulting firms. Everybody has the answer. The good thing about this is everybody is concerned and wants to be a part of saving UCR athletics. The tough thing about it is, as the single person responsible to go in before that committee, I've got to process all this information and unpack it in a way that, once again, this committee will understand it and really understand the value, and that there are some other thoughtful ways that we can go about doing exactly what we all want to do, keeping the value and experience of athletics on our campus, but also making some very painful cuts. And we've already made some very painful cuts with our program. All summer long, we've been doing it with COVID. We're right now scaling back everything out of our budget that doesn't allow us to that will keep us in the Big West and at the Division I status. But I've got to show them all the models: Division I, Division II, Division III. No model works that will save us money. This is an investment. Our students have invested in a Division I athletic program, and it's my job to make sure that that point is very clear, and I'm prepared to do that.
And Tamica, kind of to piggyback off what you just said, this investment, call me biased because I am a big sports fan. I am a big fan of the Highlanders as well. And when I think of colleges, a lot of their identity is tied to their athletics department. From a biased standpoint, when I think of a college, I think of all the value that a college receives based on their sports teams, the athletic department. Is that another maybe talking point, some dialogue you can have with the budget advisory committee, that the athletics brings value to a college? There's value there monetarily and beyond.
Yeah, absolutely. The value proposition will definitely be a part of my presentation. That really shows, we're working on numbers right now of how much support or funding athletics brings into our community, into the Riverside community, whether that's with, business taxes, whether, restaurants, hotel stays, all of those things. One of the things that this campus has talked about since I've been here is that we're the most subsidized program in Division I. And if you look at the rankings of the subsidized program, there are many, all of them are subsidized by their university. And so it's just going to come down to, understanding that athletics is the laboratory of life and the access to education for many student athletes. And so that is a part of the UCR mission. That is a part of the UC mission. And when you look at the equity value that we bring just in our unit, and you look at the community engagement, the way we are able to build community and be the bridge of the campus and the community, which was one of the things that, attracted me to Riverside, is that I thought we could bridge that gap. And what we've done over the last several years of doing that, I think is remarkable. And to say that the university can do that without athletics and continue to soar in the rankings that we're so proud of, and the campus experience that we've been continuing to create, I've seen us transform in my time, I think is misleading if we really don't get down into the real nuts and bolts of what collegiate athletics is really all about.
And finally, Tamica, so, we're trying to strike while the iron's hot. And I know the petition has been doing well, that people have been signing that, thousands and thousands have signed that. The social media campaign with hashtag Keep UCR Athletics is doing great. Do we have a timeline of when the Budget Advisory Committee will make a decision? Like, how much more time do we have to continually show support and make sure that they're hearing our voice and that we do want athletics? Do we have a timeline?
We do have a timeline. I will go before the Budget Advisory Committee the second week or so in October. So we're just preparing, the team and I. We have our student athletes, our coaches involved, our athletic association board is involved. We have a lot of key stakeholders that are supporting us in preparation for that. And so we're tackling it from every angle. And so when I have that meeting, then we should hear back in several weeks, definitely by the end of the calendar year. But, regardless of the outcome of the decision that the chancellor will ultimately have to make, we wouldn't see any effect of, transitioning athletics for another, 2 years. And what the campus is hearing is that this is a 2-year plan of action that everybody's going to participate in one way or another. And my understanding is this is a real extreme exercise, because the intent of naming us as a part of the recommendation for elimination was to make sure that, there was going to be a lot more scrutiny in the way that we did business. And so, again, this is not a athletic spending issue. This is a real structural for a young program. 20 years in Division I is not a long time. We're hitting some real bumps here, and I think this is going to really prove our viability. And I'm excited to really be leading us during this time, and really believe that we will get through this, and we will be better for it as a result. That's what Highlanders do. We ride high, and so I want to appreciate everybody that's been in support. I definitely want to thank you for the work that you're doing to help us get our message out. And we look forward to getting back to you and getting back in our facilities and starting some basketball soon.
November 25th. I already put it on my calendar. That's the first date that college basketball will resume with games. The battle rages on. Hashtag Keep UCR Athletics. Keep that alive. Let it keep flying around on Twitter, Facebook, all those different social media platforms. Tamica, I always appreciate the time. Great seeing you. Great talking to you. And yes, hopefully next time I do see you, it's inside the SRC arena for a basketball game, hopefully.
Ours up, pal.
That's Tamica Smith-Jones, Director of Athletics at UC Riverside, joined us here on the Inland Sports Show. When we come back, we will talk some high school football. Travis Carter from Hillcrest will join us next as the Trojans get ready for their upcoming season. We'll be back on the Inland Sports Show.
going on, guys? This is Ray Bass from Boost Performance Training. You're watching the Inland Sports Show with the one and only Pep Fernandez.
The Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Spoiled Quick Quality Oil Change. Spoil yourself and your car at Spoiled. Kin Sporting Goods. They have all of your sporting gear needs, Letterman's jackets, and team uniforms. Boost Performance Training with Coach Ray Bass. Athletes of all levels and all sports are going to Boost Performance Training in Corona. Need an oil change? Spoil yourself and your car at Spoiled Quick Quality Oil Change. Family owned and operated, they're committed to our community. There's 2 locations, so there's one close to you, off the 91 freeway at Arlington and off the 215 freeway at Alessandro. Oil changes are very important, so make sure you swing by. It only takes 10 minutes, and you can do a lot more than just have your oil changed. How about new wiper blades? How about an air filter? Plus many more services such as radiator and transmission. Find out more information at 2getspoiled.com. Don't wait. Get spoiled today. The number 1 sporting goods store in the Inland Empire is Kin Sporting Goods in Norco. Whether you need new uniforms for the entire team, a Letterman's jacket, or new cleats for the upcoming season, check out Kin Sporting Goods. Plus, now you can order masks with your favorite team, school, business, and more. Order for your entire team or organization. Visit kinsportinggoods.com for more information and for the latest on the big sales. Make sure to follow Kin Sporting Goods on Instagram and Twitter. So if you need team uniforms or sports gear, there's only one place to go in the Inland Empire. That's Kin Sporting Goods. We are the IE. We work hard. In fact, that's the way we like it. We wake up early, we stay up late to get the job done right. That blue-collar, hard-working mentality is the same reason we have so many successful teams and coaches and athletes in the Inland Empire. We never give up. We are a resilient bunch in the IE. Everything we have, we've earned. No excuses. It's this determined attitude is what powers our small businesses, and that's how championships are won. The Inland Sports Team is looking to team up with other like-minded small businesses in the IE. Together, we can grow. We can be bigger and better. If it was easy, everyone would do it, but we're not looking for easy, just looking for an opportunity. Joining the Inland Sports Team could be the opportunity that you've been looking for. And welcome back, everybody. The Inland Sports Show. Big thanks to Johnny Nunez, our director, and the whole team behind the scenes here at Teen Vision TV 16. We do appreciate it. Coming here live and amplified every single Wednesday night. We're talking high school football every single Wednesday night. I know it's September right now, but high school football is just around the corner as teams begin to get back to workouts. Not really a practice, I guess you would say, but at least conditioning or workouts, getting the team together. Joining us live on the show, one of the young up-and-coming coaches out there, Travis Carter from Hillcrest High School. Coach Carter, first off, thank you for joining the show, and I'm excited because the Trojans will be on the field in a workout setting, a conditioning setting, very, very soon. I think you said was it Monday you guys will be out there?
Yeah, Pep, first off, thanks for having me on, man. I appreciate what you guys do to support high school sports, especially, high school football and Riverside and all these surrounding areas. But yeah, I'm excited. The kids are excited. We're set to start Monday. Not official practice yet. We're going to have to follow all the safety guidelines. But it's going to be nice to get back and at least see the kids face to face for the first time in 6 months. So I'm excited about it. I know the kids are too.
Man, Coach, we've had a couple other head football coaches on the shows in recent weeks. I'm thinking of Coach Hildebrand at Temescal Canyon for one. And, he kind of echoed what you just said, that even though they're not real practices, they're not, throwing the football or anything yet, but just the fact to have the guys back together, running around on the football field, I mean, I think we've missed it for so long that we're going to even appreciate even something that seems as simple as just running around on a football field with no footballs. Like, it's going to be, a great day, a great moment to have those guys back on the field. Are you looking forward to just, like you said, being together, man, just having the guys run and condition and just scream at them and have them run around a little bit?
Yeah, no, I'm definitely looking forward to this. Sunday night's going to feel like the night before Christmas, just kind of itching to get back. Especially with the group of kids we got coming back. We got a really tight-knit senior class that, have been playing together since, Pop Warner football. And just to see them together, even if it's going to be different than what we're used to see them face-to-face, not have to do it through Zoom, or Google Classroom or something like that. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, we're all Zoom experts, not by choice by now, but we're all Zoom experts at this point. Talking about the guys that are coming back, you got a tight-knit group, a very talented group. First off, I want to ask you about your quarterback, Cameron Payne, who's a fantastic player, and you being a former quarterback. I mean, is it pretty cool to be able to work with him and see his progression, kind of see him grow up before your own eyes?
Yeah, Cameron's been fantastic for the last, 3 years in the program. He came and started a game as a freshman, and completed about 75% of his passes in that game. And then he kind of took off his sophomore year and had a real successful junior year. And it is fun coaching him. He, being a former quarterback, it's fun to coach him because he does a lot of things that I was never able to do. As far as with his athleticism and kind of his creativity, how he makes plays. But he's going to have a good group around him this year, too. We got Manny Robert coming back, playing running back. Xavier Banks is going to be playing wide receiver and DB. Both those kids have been starting for a couple years now. We got, a good, strong senior class with a lot of experience, both on offense and defense.
So, Coach, with these guys coming back, and it sounds like you got a good group coming, around and coming back for this season, the River Valley League, I feel like it's always tough, man. There's some good football going on in the River Valley League. Of course, we know what Norta Vista's done. We've seen Ramona have a resurgence, I guess you could say. Arlington, I know they got kind of beat up in their league, but they come into the River Valley League, and Coach Roney's going to have them ready to play. When you look at the River Valley League top to bottom, that's a tough league, Coach. I mean, there's some good football in there.
Yeah, there definitely is some good teams in there, and it just got better this year with the addition of Arlington. They're going to I know they didn't have as much luck as they would have liked last year, but they played good football. We played in week 0 last year, and they had a strong running game, good defense, and it was a battle. And then obviously with, Norta Vista, they're going to be, a powerful running team each and every year. They're going to play good defense each and every year. And the same with Ramona and Patriot. And even La Sierra is going to be much improved this year as well. So it's going to be a tough league.
Well, Coach Carter, you're still a young guy. It wasn't too long ago that you were at King High School playing for Ken Mashinsky, and now Coach Mush is over there at Ram High, obviously at Ramona. Going back to last year, your first season as the head coach at Hillcrest, what was that like going up against your former head coach from high school? Was it a cool feeling? Did you kind of embrace the challenge? What was that like?
Yeah, it was definitely a cool feeling. Just because I kind of, right before the game, I'm thinking back like, man, 12, 13 years ago, that was me over there on the sideline with him. And I definitely have learned a lot from Coach Mush throughout the years. Just the way he cares for his players, just the kind of the passion, the love for not only football, but more importantly, for his players. That was one thing playing for him, is that you knew that he was going to have your back no matter what. But yeah, me and Coach Mush, we still talk a lot, about football, about all kinds of stuff. So it was definitely kind of surreal feeling, playing your old head football coach. But I look forward to, many more battles with him.
Well, Coach, as you go into year number 2 as the head coach at Hillcrest, when you look back on last season, your first as the head coach, what's something you learned along the way, along that journey at being the head coach for Hillcrest, that, you're like, okay, we can't do that again, or that worked really well, we're going to continue that in year 2. What was something you learned along the way? Maybe it's like, we got to have the O-line over more for dinner and make sure they're happy, because when the O-line's happy, we play better. Like, what's something you learned along the way as the head coach that you're like, okay, we got to implement that, we got to keep it going, or maybe even change it come year number 2?
Yeah, I mean, definitely going into year one as a first-year head coach, your wheels are spinning. Each and every day is, hey, what are we doing? Should we do this differently? You're constantly kind of questioning yourself, making adjustments on the fly. So, I mean, man, I got a list of things that I wish I could go back and do differently from last year. But the good thing is now, even though 1 year of experience is not a lot, I do have those, those growing pains, those learning mistakes to learn from. And, I'm sure we're going to have more this year. But the key is, with myself, my coaching staff, and the players, just to grow from those experiences, and, you can constantly grow, you can change, and, just keep trying to get better each and every day.
So, Coach, this is kind of our staple question that we like to ask everybody, but how have you spent this quarantine period? Have you, I don't know, put in a new mailbox at home, a new flower bed? Have you, started Tai Chi? Like, what's something you picked up or did something during this time where we couldn't practice and we couldn't be out on the field with the guys? Yeah, so,
I didn't start any new hobbies, so to speak, like that, but I did get engaged. So that was, kind of the big highlight, kind of the positive of this whole break is I got engaged. And other than that, we've just been, we started with the wedding planning and, just trying to get all that settled. And hopefully we get to have, high school football season in January, and we can have a wedding shortly after that.
All right, Coach, without spilling all the beans, I want to know how you proposed to your fiance. Did you guys, was it weird? Did you guys have masks on and there's nobody else around?
Yeah. So we did it at a restaurant down in Temecula. So, you got to wear the mask when you go in. But they had a kind of a secluded big outdoor area. But, I was definitely nervous, just like I would be, before a game. It was a big sigh of relief to, that she said yes, and I got that out of the way.
Well, congratulations on that, Coach. And I did want to ask you, because I think I saw on social media you guys got some sweet new uniforms from Ken's Sporting Goods. Did I see that right?
Yeah, we got new uniforms coming in from, through Ken's Adidas uniforms. And to be honest, I haven't even showed the kids all of them yet. So I'll be putting stuff out there once I reveal those both to the kid.
So do you?
But yeah, they look.
Coach, when you get new uniforms, do you just pick out what you like? Do you ask your fiance? Do you ask the kids what colors look good together? How do you go about that?
Yeah, well, I ask just about everybody except myself. Assistant coaches, the kids. So the kids. They all have, the brands they like, and I typically don't care about that stuff. So I typically ask other people.
Oh yeah, the kids they love the uniform combinations and this color with that color, and if they're happy, I guess they play better, right? I guess.
Yeah, that's the plan, right?
Coach Carter, hey, congratulations first off to your fiance. Tell her I said congratulations as well, and thank you for coming on the show. I do appreciate it.
Hey, Pep, appreciate it. Appreciate what you guys do for high school sports.
Thank you, Coach Carter. That's Travis Carter, the head football coach at Hillcrest High School here on the Inland Sports Show. Again, thanks to Coach Carter for joining us. We do appreciate it. When we come back, Rudy Arguelles from RCC talking a little baseball with the head man at Tigers organization out there at RCC. We'll be back on the Inland Sports Show.
This is Alexander Madison. You're watching the Inland Sports Show.
Calling all athletes. Make sure you're at your very best by training at Boost Performance Training in Corona. Whether you're a football player, soccer player, baseball player, lacrosse, athletes from all sports and all levels train at Boost Performance Training. Led by former Centennial High School football star Ray Bass, you'll develop explosive power, become faster, and add that lean muscle. Don't be left behind and get a leg up on the competition at Boost Performance Training. Visit boosttrainingsystems.com for information on their training programs and also on the Bass School. That's the Bass Alternative School for student athletes. Trying to earn a scholarship? Maybe make the varsity team. Get a spot in the starting lineup? Well, let Boost Performance Training help achieve your athletic goals.
Spoiled in Riverside. Just opened up our new location off the 91 in Arlington in Riverside. Come check us out and get spoiled for a change.
The Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Spoiled. Quick, quality oil change. Spoil yourself and your car at Spoiled. Kin Sporting Goods. They have all of your sporting gear needs, Letterman's jackets, and team uniforms. Boost Performance Training with Coach Ray Bass. Athletes of all levels and all sports are going to Boost Performance Training in Corona. Inland Sports. Let's go to college football first real quick, guys, because the Big Ten has announced they are resuming football. Big Ten, if you're not familiar with football, is like Michigan, Ohio State, Penn State, Wisconsin, like some really good teams. They will start at the end of October, the weekend of October 24th. So now that leaves the Pac-12. That is like USC and UCLA and Oregon and all those schools.
Our schools.
Dude, what are these guys going to do? Like, there's a push right now online on social media with some significant players, including Keaton Clovis, the quarterback at USC, including Jaden Daniels, the pride of Cajon High School in San Bernardino, who's now the starting quarterback at Arizona State, to push Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, to say, hashtag let us play. We're the only ones not playing right now in the Pac-12.
The Big Ten jumped in. They got an 8-week schedule. They're going to get everything done before bowl season. It will work like a champ. The Pac-12 will come to their senses, not necessarily because they think they have a team that's going to go all the way, but because if they don't, it's just going to back everything up and cause a nightmare all the way around. I think because there's even talk that other Mountain West and the other smaller divisions, up in Idaho and stuff like that, they want to get back to football too. I think there's going to be a huge push for football all the way around. And if the Pac-12 doesn't, and then like the Big Sky West and all those little teeny ones do it, they're going to look foolish.
Inland Sports. And welcome back to the Inland Sports Show on KCAL 96.7 FM every Monday and Thursday at 8:30 a.m. I'll be getting up bright and early tomorrow, talking a little NFL, talking a little Inland Empire sports as well. Join us on the show. This guy is a legend. I can't believe he made time for us, but he certainly did. Rudy Arguelles, the head baseball coach at RCC. Coach, first off, I love to ask this question to all the coaches. We just had a high school football coach on here of how they've kind of spent this, I call it the quarantine period, the stay at home, because I know there's been a lot of honey-do lists and stay-at-home projects and stuff like that. How have you spent the last couple of months?
I think you hit it right on the head there, Pep, with a lot of honey-do lists that are getting done because, a lot of us in doing what we do, we're really not accustomed to having this type of time as far as being at our home with our blood family. We're usually on that field, on the road, competing during this time. So that's been absolutely a task that have been being tackled. But I've been enjoying this opportunity again because it's something that we've not been able to have. So to be able to have that actually with my family, and we're a family of 6 children and I got 2 grandkids, so it's a big family. We're down to the last 2 here in the household that are with us, so 1 in high school, 1 in 6th grade, and they're active, so I've been having a lot of time to be with them, but also trying to do the best we possibly can to keep our other family, our kids in our program here, engaged and connected, and staying positive and getting ready for the upcoming season.
Well, Coach, I know that's been the silver lining, I guess, in this is the extra family time that we've been able to enjoy. But was it a strange feeling being a lifelong baseball guy going through, let's say, the months of April and May and being like, man, we should be playing a 3-game series with somebody. We should be pushing for the playoffs, competing for a conference title. Was it a strange feeling being at home when you would normally be on a baseball diamond?
Really strange, it really was. It was really strange. From our season standpoint, we were in the 2nd series in conference. So we were able to complete our non-conference schedule. We got 22 games in, and we were getting ready to play the 3rd game of the 2nd series against Santa Ana College. And that's when the season was called off. So to be in those months, it was absolutely a strange and weird feeling.
You know, we've seen some colleges and high schools resume, I don't know if you want to call them practices, but at least workouts, some conditioning. Have you guys been able, as a baseball program at RCC, been able to get together as a group and do some conditioning?
I wish, Pep. I really do. I really wish. You know, from our standpoint, it's from our understanding and what's been communicated to us. It's coming from wherever your county is at, as far as, you know, stages, and then it comes from your individual institution's chancellor. So once we get the okay, trust me, it's something that, you know, we have to answer with our players, and we go back and forth with probably about 10 times a day with different individual players asking because, hey, coach, you know, my high school is going to do this. This is the date that they anticipate getting on. You know, Cal Baptist down the street, you know, they're practicing, they're working out, and you start seeing, you know, all these schools and institutions on social media that are able to do things. But as far as us at Riverside City College, we haven't been given that opportunity yet, and boy, are we itching to do so, though.
You know, I know, Coach, for the new calendar for community colleges in California, the baseball season, I guess you could say, got pushed back a little bit. I think it's considered a late spring sport now, so you're pushed back a little bit in your season. So I guess the good news is that you've still got some time. You still have some time to ramp up for the season. But when you look at the pushback, you know, I don't know if it's a couple weeks or maybe a month or so from this normal start of the year, because I think you guys would play like the end of January, I want to say, right, with your first game. So have you thought about, hey, at Christmas time, I don't have to be game planning for our first games. I might be able to enjoy Christmas because our season won't start until a little bit later into the year. Is it going to be strange having a different calendar for your season this year?
You know, the calendar's different, Pep, but, you know, to be honest with you, we have our guys engaged in different programs even right now, and based on that calendar that has been given to us as far as anticipating our start time, we're looking at a 3-month fall period. So silver lining is kind of what we're looking at, and as far as what we've expressed to our players. So we're pushing everything back basically to January as far as worst case scenario is what we're looking at to get together as a team and prep, whether that's from the pitching staff, positional aspect of things, get ready and roll that 3 months without any downtime as we usually would have in a regular fall situation, to where we get to that December into November time period. And guys are held accountable to get their work done and follow the programs while they're out of school and on winter break. And then we come back in January, kind of have to restart. So we won't have that restart, which is going to be kind of nice, to be honest with you. Move from January, our season opener is April 10th. So we're looking at 3 months of gearing up, ramping up, prepare those guys to compete when April 10th comes, and then the season should last, provided that, you know, we anticipate doing what we do and be there at the end, towards the end of June.
Coach, I also wanted to ask you about those state championship teams at RCC, 2000, 2001, 2002, 2007. You were on the staff for each of those championship teams. When you look back, was there like a special ingredient that all 4 of those teams had? Like, do you look back and you're like, that's what they all had in common. If I just have that one ingredient, I think we've got a chance, you know, this upcoming season. Is there something that they all kind of shared in common that you look for each year when you're coaching the Tigers?
Yeah, you know, they're all different and they're all special. And to be honest with you, we believe we have it going into each and every year, to be honest with you. But that 2000, 2001, 2002, those 3 years, you know, man, we really built around pitching, and it was established even a little bit earlier before that, you know, with Dennis. And that's kind of been our mantra to begin with is, you know, we build around pitching. We're identified with that. We're known with that. And that's something that we had during those years with that 2000, 2001, 2002. Man, we had some Bulldogs, man. We had some competitors, unbelievable competitors, and Bulldogs on that bump, and filled them around with some talent and quality. And these guys just loved being on that field. They embrace, the whole process, man. They were baseball rats for sure.
Hey, Coach, I wanted to ask you about your playing days at RCC. Now, I read that you played every position but catcher. Is that true for the Tigers?
That is true, Pep.
Because when I look at, let's say, Little League baseball or even high school baseball, some of the top players, they pitch, they play shortstop, they play outfield, whatever. They play multiple positions. You did it at RCC. Do you feel like that could be something that's continuing in popularity? We see, let's say Shohei Ohtani for the Angels. The guy can hit, the guy can pitch, he can do a little bit of everything. You did a little bit of everything. I mean, even at the community college level, do you look for guys who are, they've got more than one skill in their tool bag? They can do a lot of different things.
I think it's a valuable asset, to be honest with you, and if we're really paying attention to where the game's going to today, even at the highest level at the major league roster, you look at the best clubs. They have guys that are taking up roster spots, but they're able to fulfill and play multiple positions. I mean, you can go to the team right down the road right here, in LA. Look at how many players that they have on that roster that can play multiple positions. In our level, I think that trend is being more evident and displayed in today's day and age, to where it opens up opportunity. And I think in my case, back in the day, it was just about having an open mind and understanding, hey, whatever my team needs, and if that's where you want me to go, it meant that I got to get out there and compete and play. But I think there's more drive, more purpose, more development geared towards, fulfilling that type of role in today's game.
Well, Coach, I appreciate the insight. It was great catching up with you. I think you said your first game of the season, I want to say, is April 10th. I'm going to circle that on my calendar as we get ready for the baseball season. I'm sure you've got it circled. I'm sure it's highlighted on your personal calendar.
Absolutely.
Just to get that season going. We're excited for it. RCC baseball head coach Rudy Arguelles. Coach, thank you so much. I do appreciate the time. I know baseball season's a long ways away, but it's great talking a little baseball now. As we watch the major leagues. They're playing right now. They're getting ready to go to the postseason with that wacky 60-game schedule. But here we are. We got baseball, though, so that's a great thing. Have you been watching the MLB, I take it?
Yeah, I watch what I can, to be honest with you. These courses being switched to an online format have taken up more time than I anticipated, because we're used to being in person,
Yeah.
But the chance absolutely get to watch it. And like I said, my youngest boy is a sophomore in high school right now, and he's actually playing. So that's kind of been a breath of fresh air to be able to get out and watch him play.
Absolutely. I would pick your son over the MLB as well if I was in your shoes. Coach, appreciate the time. Have a great night. Let's do this again before April 10th.
Pep, I appreciate you thinking of us and having us on. Thank you.
Yes, sir. All right. Rudy Arguelles from RCC. When we come back, we're going to wrap things up. We're going to close down the Inland Sports Show and preview next week's show. We'll be right back. Awesome. Thank you.
96.7 KCal Rocks. What's up? It's Patrick and 40. Hey, man, you're watching the Inland Sports Show right here. Make sure you check out Pep, man. It's Inland Sports with Pep, but he's on every Monday and Thursday morning with Sports with Pep, man. You guys rock.
Need an oil change? Spoil yourself and your car at Spoiled Quick Quality Oil Change. Family owned and operated, they're committed to our community. There's 2 locations, so there's one close to you, off the 91 freeway at Arlington and off the 215 freeway at Alessandro. Oil changes are very important, so make sure you swing by. It only takes 10 minutes, and you can do a lot more than just have your oil changed. How about new wiper blades? How about an air filter? Plus many more services such as radiator and transmission. Find out more information at 2getspoiled.com. Don't wait. Get spoiled today.
talk about this a lot with our student athletes. We talk about working hard, we talk about grinding, we talk about, how hard you work. But at the end of the day, it's about, applying the right effort. If you're constantly doing things that are easy for you, that's not really the right effort. The right effort moves you out of your comfort zone. The right effort moves you closer to your goal. So, I talk about, what are you doing at night? What are you doing to prep for the next day? Are you staying up at night being on social media? Or are you, watching television? Are you, eating junk food? Are you getting a good night's sleep, which is going to help prepare you mentally and physically to grow the next day? Is your training moving you out of your comfort zone? Are you doing things are you working on your weaknesses? Or are you doing things that you're already good at? So, there's a lot of effort. A lot of kids say they work hard, but you're not working hard unless you're doing things that aren't easy. Because if you're doing what's easy, it's just, it's not really hard work. It's work, but it's not the right work. So if you're ready to put in that right work, the right effort, then come on down and check us out at the Boost Performance Center.
I would say the one thing that we stress more than anything else is service to our customer. Make sure that they're taken care of, whatever you can do to make sure that that order gets to them on time and it's the right quality and what they want. I've been that way since 1976. That was my goal, to reach out to local sports programs, and it's grown from there, and we've been very, very fortunate. My grandson is right over here. He's working for us, and he's going to college right now, and that's exactly what my son did 20-some years ago, and it keeps on going, And we have customers that come in the store that it's amazing. People that I haven't been here since I was a little kid, and I used to come in here all the time. And then now I'm bringing my son in here, or a grandpa that's bringing his grandson in here that came in here when we first opened back in '76. We just feel so fortunate to have been a part of this community and this Inland Empire for going into our 44th year now, and it's just been a blessing.
We are the IE. We work hard. In fact, that's the way we like it. We wake up early, we stay up late to get the job done right. That blue-collar, hard-working mentality is the same reason we have so many successful teams and coaches and athletes in the Inland Empire. We never give up. We are a resilient bunch in the IE. Everything we have, we've earned. No excuses. It's this determined attitude is what powers our small businesses, and that's how championships are won. The Inland Sports Team is looking to team up with other like-minded small businesses in the IE. Together, we can grow. We can be bigger and better. If it was easy, everyone would do it, but we're not looking for easy, just looking for an opportunity. Joining the Inland Sports Team could be the opportunity that you've been looking for. There it is. It's inlandsportsshow@gmail.com. Send us an email if you'd like to be on our show. If you're a local business, maybe you're a manager, we'd love to hear from you. That's inlandsportsshow@gmail.com. We've been keeping tabs on all of our local high school football programs, local athletic programs in general, and who's returning to workouts. I just saw on Twitter, congrats to Jeff Steinberg and Beaumont. They are back on October 5th. And then again next week, October 1st, which is Thursday, Riverside Unified and Corona Norco Unified will start their football practices. We're going to have more on high school football next Wednesday night on the Inland Sports Show. You know he's a great guy because he has a 49er shirt on tonight. That's Johnny Nunez, our director behind the scenes here at Teen Vision TV 16. My name is Pep Fernandez. We will see you again next Wednesday night, 6:05, first pitch with your favorite show, the Inland Sports Show. Good night and God bless.